Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pitch Pass Podcast. It's me, your host, Brandon, and my co host, Bretley.
What's up, guys? Just a preface. We recorded this for over an hour last night, and my software popped up with a nice little notification that said, "Hey, your video is corrupted and cannot be output." Um,
Literally
so,
halfway through recording
it,
is
yeah,
when
it,
it popped up and
it
said
was.
that. It was
We were an
so
hour and
frustrating.
2 minutes into the video. So, in order to try to get this uploaded on time, we're gonna speed through this a little bit. You're not gonna get our is Juju Smith-Schuster a wide receiver one, and if he is, where does he fall in? We'll just give you the TLDR is I feel like he is a better number one option than some teams have, but the common consensus is that he is not an elite wide receiver. We'll leave it at that. Is that inappropriate?
I, I, I'll be down for it.
Okay.
High end number two.
High end
High
number
end
two.
number
Okay.
two for the
Service
majority of NFL teams.
serviceable as a number one in some situations. Some.
Okay, I think they're only clear cut. There's only a few franchises where you
Yeah.
can say you would be not even the number two.
Yeah.
Just Miami, probably Philly. Oof.
Mm,
I'll take Smitty over Juju.
really?
Devontae Smith is nasty.
Yeah. Mm,
But
yeah.
that's
It's
me.
for another
That's just
day.
me. That's another day's discussion. Okay,
So
so
Thanksgiving games. Hope everybody had a great
Thanksgiving game.
Thanksgiving. Last night we talked about our Thanksgivings. We can let you know in the comments about our Thanksgivings if you want, but we gotta get this uploaded. So
Yep. And
Bills
all the
Lions.
Thanksgiving games were dope,
Yes.
close games. All of them were within one score of each other. Um, Bills Lions. Josh Allen pulled off that final drive with 30 seconds left to
Yeah.
get him in field goal range for Tyler Bass to bring it home.
Yeah, for real. Amon-Ra
Um,
St. Brown had a day for the Lions too. He had 9 receptions
Amon-Ra-
for 122 yards and a touchdown. Um,
And to sum up the end of this, and also Detroit was getting home on Josh.
yeah, they were. They definitely were.
Pressure. Um, la- real quick, James Houston, rookie, first start for the Lions,
Mhm.
had 2 sacks in his first start.
Nice.
Fantastic to see.
Yeah, this was an interesting game because it really looked like the Lions were in the driver's seat. The Lions really looked competitive with the Bills, and now that the Bills don't have Von Miller probably for the rest of the season and playoffs, uh, we don't really. I feel like the Bills should be a we don't know team. They do have a lot of depth at defense, but not having
They're-
Von is a
Yeah.
huge question mark.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely takes away from the high end part of the pass rush.
Mhm.
It helped that they still have Oliver playing defensive tackle
Yeah.
and Greg Rousseau on defensive end.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am shocked. I can get it. Vaughn has all the name recognition.
hmm
Greg Rousseau is the best defensive lineman on that team this year, even when Vaughn was playing. The man needs more credit.
I will have to watch some film on that because
Oh.
I have not paid attention outside of Von, to be honest with you, just because I love him.
And that's no problem with you. That I feel like that's
Yeah.
a problem with a lot of us while watching the sport. Some of these big name guys always get
The
all the
recognition. Yeah.
yeah, which understand, very understandable. But man, you gotta get this kid some credit. Granted, Von Miller has a couple more pressures, but
Mhm. Well,
man,
if
Rousseau is also been great against the run game as well.
if you want to give
Outside
some credit,
as a tackle. Yeah.
let's give credit to the Lions because it really looked like their offense actually played really really well this game.
Yeah.
Honestly, everybody as a whole, they really didn't have that much of a run game, but they didn't really need it because Amon-Ra just dominated this game. And that last drive honestly put the Lions in position to win the game, but the Bills managed to drive down the field and get that. Yeah. So credit to the Bills for great comeback there. We're seeing some weird blips where Stephon Diggs just has these large periods of inconsistency and then he goes off. Um, and I don't think that's going to be enough for them to make a deep run in the playoffs. I don't think they make it past. I don't know if they play in the championship game.
I don't think they make it there either.
Yeah.
I think this Bills team is definitely good enough to get out of the wild card round.
Yeah.
But I definitely see them losing the divisional.
I think so too. Yeah.
There's too many injuries that are starting to pile up for them.
I think Miami wins.
I think Miami takes this division.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Their defense is getting hot at the right time.
Yes.
Their offense has been humming all year.
Yeah, no
Teal's
kidding.
healthy. Like
Yeah.
they're in the driver's seat for that division.
For sure.
Speaking of driver's seats in their division, Dallas holding on, being the Giants 28-20.
Yeah. It was a slow start for Dallas too.
It was.
But once they got started, they just kept going.
They started rolling. It seems like Dak Prescott is really the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of quarterback. We'll see bad Dak Prescott, and then second half
lights it up. Yeah.
And something that I don't think Dak gets enough credit for is how good of a passer he is when running a multitude of passing schemes and concepts.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Isn't like he's just killing stick all game like Carson Wentz did his MVP season.
Check down, baby.
Check down, baby. I also think this game CeeDee Lamb took over.
CeeDee Lamb, 6 receptions for 106 yards. Crazy.
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz found the end zone twice in this game. Zeke found the end zone, and Peyton Hendershot found the end zone. This is
on a tight end sweep.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking tight end sweep.
Quiet Tony Pollard game. That was an interesting one for me.
Quiet Tony Pollard game. Big Micah Parsons game.
Yes,
that's
for sure.
Stack of Daniel Jones right on the star.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving, iconic.
Iconic, yeah.
Iconic.
Doing it on the star, yeah.
It almost not as iconic as T.O. when he came back
planting the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Not as much as that, but man.
I think the Cowboys definitely played well in all facets. Everybody really picked it up in the second quarter, and the Cowboys continued that momentum while the Giants just couldn't really get anything going after. In the second half, they got like a late game touchdown, but it didn't really matter. Daniel Jones is not enough to win you games especially when Saquon. That too, but Saquon just had a really quiet day. Saquon had 11 carries for 39 yards. He did find the end zone, but like you said, the receiving game, their best receiver right now is Darius Slayton. Wandale's 100%. Done for the season. They got rid of Tony. He was injured a lot anyway, but
and Tony's injured right now too.
They
Massive L on my part, by the way.
Yeah.
Pumping Darius Tony. That man is now looking like a bust.
It's possible, but when he's healthy, the upside is definitely there.
It's definitely there.
Yeah.
100%. It's just how often is he going to be healthy going forward?
Yeah.
The man is built like rubber bands. I mean that in any way because he's.
I know.
Not super well, but breaks.
Yeah.
Patriots, Vikings, the primetime game.
Just one final note on the Giants Cowboys game. The Giants aren't like they have very glaring weak spots which can be taken advantage of, but honestly, the main issue with this team, the two main issues are they have no receivers. And they're utilizing Saquon in the wrong way, and Daniel Jones is not the quarterback to win you games.
Saquon should 100% be used more of the passing game.
Yes, definitely.
I understand why they're doing it, because they want him to stand and block.
Yeah.
But, man, it's not working.
No chance.
Also, didn't really show up too much on, like, a normal stat sheet. Kayvon Thibodeau was a menace during this game. Just absolutely getting pressure, making Smith look like the rookie he is. But for people to really start paying attention to him, you got to convert those pressures and those hits and the sacks.
Nice. Love some KT.
Yes. Patriots Vikings. Mac Jones showed up.
Yeah. And the TLDR of this one again is this ends the Bailey Zappi Mac Jones debate.
Yeah, I know. It's over.
It was fun while it lasted, but yeah.
Ramondre Stevenson had a very nice game as a receiver.
Yes.
9 catches, 76 yards. Not too much rushing, but still a fantasy beast.
Yeah. He did have a good rushing average, but they also didn't rush that much in general. I think the Patriots had 13 rush attempts total, which is insane.
Not normal for them.
Yeah. But Ramondre caught 9 passes for 76 yards. So if you have him in a PPR fantasy league, You 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 scored 20 points there without anything.
And yeah.
No touchdown, 20 points. Yeah. So that's cool.
And I know Patriots fans have got to be pissed about that Hunter Henry touchdown being overturned.
Yeah.
I will say that was a catch. He had his hands underneath the ball.
I think I agree as well. Yeah, it's just one of those kind of weird rules where it's like...
It's been... I think you're right. It's one of those weird rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's like offsides in soccer to where it's just been mutilated over and over.
Yeah. I don't... The way that they call some of these plays, especially when, like, your hand is under the ball, but whether or not you have possession when you go to the ground is really the way they look at it. And they looked at it as though saying, like, your hand hit the ground with the ball in it, and you didn't have possession at the time of the hit, so no. But he very clearly did. I don't understand the call.
It's also how they define possession is also so vague and loose. Did
it bobble?
I understand what the rule was meant to be, but it's not what it is anymore.
I agree.
Bastard's eyes rule, pretty much. Like
I agree.
Just bring out force out. Just bring force out back at that point. Actually, the force out rule was always fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, a defensive back should be able to use the sideline.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
The game is already so difficult for corners on the outside. And Justin Jefferson was putting the corners for New England in hell.
Yeah. Honestly, Kirk had a game.
Kirk did have a game.
This is
Adam Thielen in the corner in the end zone.
Yes. Yeah, that was that anytime touchdown bet on Adam Thielen was a good one. Literally the play before it happened, too. That was pretty golden. This really seems to be Kirk's year for the shitty situations that he was in before, and the situations that he was in but could just never really capitalize. It feels like all of the things are really going his way this year. 30 of 37 for 299 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Justin Jefferson, 9 receptions for 139 yards and a touchdown.
And he completed a pass.
Yeah, for 11 yards, yeah.
Yeah, great showing by the Vikings offense.
Yes.
You can see their Achilles heel, though. It's 100% in coverage. You can take advantage of them on the back end.
Yeah, if Mac Jones is cooking you like that,
there's some issues going on.
Yeah. 382 yards for Mac Jones, man. That's just insane. Yeah. This was a very fun game from beginning to end, though. I didn't really doubt the Vikings were going to win this one. But it was nice to see Justin Jefferson going up against talented corners and producing.
Yeah. And also the kickoff return for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And Patriots losing by a touchdown. Bill Belichick was probably livid about that.
Yeah, the special teams heavy coach. Yeah, I can't imagine.
The special teams practices and film room had to be absolute hell.
I can't imagine how many stadiums they're doing today. Still, yeah.
I heard Devin McCourty's still running. You want to go to a game that had 2 quarterbacks that didn't combine for as many yards as Mac Jones had?
Oh, God, which one?
Broncos-Panthers.
Oh, God, yeah.
If you want the map at home, 142 for Russell Wilson, 164 for Darnold.
You know, Darnold completed 11 of 19 passes. He didn't look terrible.
No, and they also...
Deonta Foreman got workhorsed.
Him and Chuba Hubbard. 24 carries
and
for
17.
Deonta Foreman and 17 for Hubbard. Yeah. And it really just said, we're just going to pound it.
And neither of them got a touchdown. I think that's the funniest part for me.
The best part about it is that Sam Darnold vultured one on the goal line.
Yeah, that little rushing... Was it like a 3... Oh, it was...
2 yards. Yeah. He had 3 rushes for... God, 3 yards.
The nice part about this was seeing DJ Moore get a bunch of those targets. 4 receptions for 103 yards. I mean, comparatively, like, he only had 19 attempts, okay? I think DJ Moore had 6 targets.
Is it fair to say Sam Darnold is better than washed Cam Newton?
I think you could
That's
say that
fair.
about a lot of people at
He
this
was
point.
walk-
I don't think it's fair, but it's true.
I mean, it's true. I
Yeah.
mean, Sam Darnold at this point in his career is better than Cam his last
Yes.
year or two in Carolina.
I really hope Terrace Marshall can start getting some more production in this offense. I think that'll be.
I do too, because he's been an interesting prospect ever since like he came out of LSU.
Yeah.
His real claim to fame was being the number 3 wide receiver to Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
I mean, that's not.
Imagine being able to clean that up.
Yeah, 2 guys to sit behind for sure. That's
in
not
college. So some of the guys you're going up against aren't going pro.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I hope it pans out for him. I hope he has a good career. But
I do too.
Speaking of not panning out, let's ride. Russell
Let's
Wilson,
ride. Let's
19
die.
of 35 for 142 yards. He did throw for a touchdown, no interceptions. But you know what's crazy?
All of his teammates would have came to his party if they won.
Carson, yeah, okay, all right. Carson Wentz still has more touchdowns and hasn't
Carson
played
Wentz-
since week 6.
He has more bathrooms than touchdowns this year
Yeah,
in his home.
yeah. Russ is just not cooking.
Russ is not cooking, but I did make a subtle jab. I do think people are kind of blowing out proportion for not the entire team coming to his birthday party.
Yeah.
About half the team showing up is
Yeah.
a pretty damn good turnout still.
A lot of people were saying that his wife paid him, but I don't know.
Oh my god. That'd be really funny
It
if she
would be
did. I
funny.
don't think she did. How like the majority of people?
Yeah.
How many people from your workplace do you think would come to your birthday party?
I'm very quiet.
The average person. I think a decent amount would come. To
Average
my
person,
my
probably
workplace.
at least a few, but I don't know.
Exactly. But like half your coworkers.
That's really
still
good,
a decent turnout.
Yeah. I
If half
agree.
my coworkers showed up, I'm like, that's a damn good turnout.
Yeah, for sure.
All
Mel-
these people that won't hate me.
Melvin Gordon was cut. I don't remember if it was before or after this game. Is now with Kansas City. Latavius
Yep.
Murray got the king share of rushing here. 13 carries, 92 yards. That was cool. He also had a reception for 6 yards.
I hope Latavius Murray just keeps being just this mercenary that comes in after RB1s tear their ACL.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job though.
He did it last year too with the Ravens.
Yeah.
God. The Jets missed their chance when
They did.
Brees went down.
You know that oh god, what's his Knight? I think it starts with Z.
Zaven Knight. We can just go to the Jets game next if you want.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Just a closing thought on the Broncos is if the Broncos could score, I think it was 17 points per game this year.
It'd be like 9-2.
They would be like 9-2, something along those lines. Like they just can't produce offense. There's very little faulting the defense. The defense has been playing great. The Broncos' offense just sucks. Yeah.
And it's mostly because Russell Wilson doesn't know the offense.
Yes.
Mike did go off against Chicago, didn't he?
Yeah, I know. My Jets, baby. Even though it's more like an adopt. It's like a love story, Like
I need to see his A-dot. I need to see Mike White's A-dot for this game. What was your average depth of target? God damn it. Because it means probably decent. Because I can see that.
6.4 yards.
Okay. That's not bad. It's not bad at
Oh no,
You're-
sorry, that was 2021.
all. It's okay. I can pull it up.
Against the Bears, it was 5.9. He only threw 5 passes that traveled 10 or more air yards with a long of 20.
That's Mike White's game, baby.
You know what? It
Down
works.
Merchant.
Zonovan Knight, yeah, Zonovan Knight. So this game, I feel like there's not really too much to talk about. Trevor Siemian was in for the Bears. Justin Fields was resting because he's injured. David Montgomery, okay, I guess. Chase Claypool led this game. What's his name is injured for the Bears.
Eddie Jackson
Yeah,
is done for the
yes.
year. So is Darnell Mooney.
Darnell Mooney. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
Fucking blow for Chicago, man.
Yeah. Um, the Jets, regardless of who's under center, I mean, honestly, they probably have a better chance with Mike White because I think he just has more consistent upside than Zach Wilson does. But
He's not gonna fuck up as much as Zach Wilson.
yeah, exactly. Um,
Like Zach Wilson is literally gonna ruin your chances at the playoffs. Mike White can at least drive a car in a straight line.
yes, definitely. Yeah. I think the thing that really helps the Jets is they really have depth at just about every position, and their defense. Not only is their defense playing great, they get away with a lot. Their defense really, especially like with some of the narratives, like their corner tandem is great. Obviously, they have Sauce and they have DJ Reed. Yeah, they're great, but Sauce gets away with a lot, but he is great.
Oh, you mean gets away with a lot of holding, a lot of
A lot of
pass
PI.
interference.
Yeah,
He does. You know why? He plays the game in such a similar style to Richard Sherman.
Yes.
It's really funny.
yeah.
Because this is the same shit Richard Sherman used to do, to where he would use his size, he would
Mhm.
grab, he would pull.
Yeah, if
top
you
you
start
out.
the game off physical and they're not calling you for being physical, then it gives you a
They're
gauge
not
of
gonna-
like how you can play.
Yeah, and also, if you're gonna do it every play,
Mhm.
they're not gonna fucking flag it every
No,
play.
no,
They
no.
may do it 2 replays even.
Yeah.
But after a point, they know the fans are gonna get pissed. The
Yeah.
rest know the fans are gonna get pissed off,
Yeah.
and they're just gonna let it go.
The other thing that's like really great for him is obviously he is very talented. He wouldn't have gone as high as he did if he wasn't. I still feel very strongly he's probably the best corner in the draft.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
He's a top 5 corner in the NFL, no question in my mind at the moment. But he has a really great sense for ball placement. He really knows when and where he should put his arms at the very least to disrupt the path if he can't fully block it. He makes it inconvenient for the receiver to see. He makes it inconvenient for the receiver to get a clean catch. Even just getting a hand in there or knowing when the receiver lands and like being able to just dislodge that ball, that's something he's really great at. The Jets just have a much better roster than the Bears do right now, and
Especially no Justin Fields for
yeah,
this game.
especially yeah. I'm interested to see how far Mike White will take them.
I'm very interested to see that too. I will also say Zach Wilson is never starting for the Jets again. I'm gonna just call it now.
You know, maybe, but it's
Okay, unless injuries. I feel like that's
Yeah.
the only way he's gonna start for them again. Like you gotta cut bait with this kid during the off season, right?
Yeah, I think
If
it's going to be a
you
Baker
almost-
Mayfield situation.
Yeah, to where they just see as someone
Yeah,
wants to take a risk on the reclamation
like
project.
a 5th round pick. Somebody would take him absolutely. Probably fucking Carolina would just add to the room.
I can see Atlanta doing it.
Oh
can
god,
see
I
Atlanta
hope
doing
not. Give Desmond Ridder a start.
Oh, right. Okay. So
You want to go to
Mm,
Dolphins?
yeah, let's go Dolphins Texans.
Yeah. So
This was the good of the week.
yeah, the Dolphins were well, they were up by 30 at the half, so they benched their starters. The Dolphins pounded the Texans. Not that the Texans are a good team by any stretch; they're 1-9-1, but they've been able to keep it scrappy in a majority of games just because they've been able to run with Dameon Pierce. But for the past couple of weeks, he has not been able to because they've just been focusing him, and the Texans have no other offense. Kyle Allen was in 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Not good. Dare Ogunbowale had a touchdown on 14-yard, but that was later in the game. Not really relevant at all. And Jordan Akins did as well. I'm sure if you are a Mike Gesicki fantasy owner, you're not happy about that, and I honestly wouldn't
You
be
probably
either.
already dropped it at this point, honestly.
Yeah.
Or you just really
Sorry.
hate yourself.
That was for the Texans, but I did the same thing when we were recording last night. But Durham Smythe got the receiving touchdown for the Dolphins. Yeah.
The former Cowboy.
Yeah. The Texans are just in a really rough spot. Dameon Pierce, it sucks because he's so talented, but he had 16 yards combined in this game. 8 yards rushing, 8 yards receiving, because
And-
they're just shutting him down.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy for them for doing it because like
his
in a
risk
game
of
you're
injury.
not going to win,
Yeah,
do you want to risk this talented running back that you have on a cheap deal for the next
4 years.
outside this season,
Yeah.
2-3 years? Yeah, like I'm not going to pound him into the ground if there's no talent around him that I need to like evaluate.
Exactly. The Dolphins really just flexed their depth. They just flexed their superiority in really every facet. They benched their starters at the half. That says everything you need to know.
And on defense, 5 sacks.
Yeah.
Nice day.
Yeah.
It isn't just one guy going off. Fucking each sack was by a different player.
Landon Roberts, Jerome Baker, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb got in there.
Yeah.
And Melvin Ingram. I love Melvin Ingram. But yeah, the Dolphins are just a very deep, great team all around. And the Texans suck. Sorry. I'm sorry about it, but also no, I'm not.
I'm sorry, Texans. It's okay. They'll have Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud next year. It's fine.
Probably, yeah.
Let's keep it in Florida for the next 2 games we're gonna do. You want to do Jacksonville, Baltimore?
Sure. Yeah.
This is one I actually got right from last week.
Yes, I got this game wrong. I think I took I'm fairly certain I took the Ravens, but yeah, this was Trevor Lawrence's like prove everyone wrong day. Yeah. I feel like a lot of games this week we didn't see a lot of rushing production. This is one of them. I know that Travis Etienne foot injury.
First possession, I believe.
Yeah. So T-Law had 29 completions out of 37 attempts for 321 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. This is the Zay Jones show.
Outplayed Lamar.
Yeah, absolutely. Zay Jones took this game over 11 receptions for 145 yards.
You gotta love when a journeyman, a player that's just been all around the league, just has that one random ass game where they just pop off.
Go off, yeah. That's Brandon Cooks for me, like every other year. Yeah.
Pretty much. Ooh, is Zay Jones the new like a
Brandon Cooks
Jr.?
Brandon Cooks? Maybe it's possible.
He just doesn't have the 1,000-yard seasons, but I mean, he's gonna probably hang around forever.
You know, we'll see about that. He's still relatively young. It's possible.
Yeah, he's not 30 yet.
Lamar Jackson, 16 to 32, 254 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Carried 14 times for 89 yards. Yeah, the problem with the Ravens is the Ravens' leading receiver was Josh Oliver for 76 yards and a touchdown, and that was a lot of forced balls to him. And then you have the corpse of Deshaun Jackson, and Devin Duvernay is doing okay, I guess, and Demarcus Robinson with his 1 catch per game. The Ravens are in a bad spot. You need to get Lamar some help. Everybody's either just injured or old around him, and it's not working.
We're just not good.
Yeah.
They could also just be not good around him too. The one thing I really want to say about Josh Oliver, he's a fucking 3rd-string running back that hasn't really done much in his career. So it's hilarious he was their leading receiver in this game.
He played for Jacksonville last, right? Or no? Am I wrong? Yeah, he played for Jacksonville.
Yeah. He, very similar to Zay Jones, has just bounced around the league.
Yeah, fire Greg Roman immediately. The Ravens are.
Oh, actually, I was wrong. Wrong, Josh Oliver. It's tight end.
Yeah, the tight end.
Oliver.
I got you. I knew what you meant.
Okay. So yes, he did play for Jacksonville. I thought it was a different Josh Oliver.
No,
My apologies, everyone.
The Ravens just can't hang on. I will say that the Jaguars were very impressive, particularly in the 4th quarter. T-Law knew that he had to just sling the rock and not mess up, and he did. But the Ravens don't have any real like gauge on like throttling a team. So they'll score and then they'll just completely like. It's like the turtle and hare or whatever, however you want to say it, tortoise and hare. Yeah, like they'll run out to an early lead and then they'll just stop and take a nap while they just get slowly walked by, and they're just like, oh well, guess we lost another 4th quarter game that we had a lead of 10+ points in, and it's just like, come on, dude, just do something else. Do score one more touchdown or another field goal at least. I don't know.
You know what they're really missing? The Ravens. I'm gonna also
Wide
use a
receiver
baseball
one.
rep. That as well. But in these games where they keep losing these close games and they keep giving up these leads, they just need that A quality, almost like a closing pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
They need that edge rusher, that pass
Oh, yeah.
rusher, that can just get home and close out
Yeah.
these games.
Yeah, they definitely need some help.
Like, they have a bunch of dudes that can be added in with their scheme.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a single guy who's going to take over a game.
Yeah, they have a good overall defense, but just it's not.
Calais
enough.
Campbell is almost 40.
Yeah.
It's like
37, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, close to retiring. Matt, he's like a giant. He needs to retire soon. The heart's only gonna last so long when you're that big.
36, okay. That was a year off, but not too bad. Good guess.
Ancient.
Yeah, that is pretty damn old.
Pretty damn fucking old. So, and let's continue with the retirement state of Florida. Buccaneers choked away a lead in the fourth quarter just like the Ravens did.
Yeah, and we sat and did the math for this last night. If Deshaun comes back and plays well, and if they keep running well, and if Myles Garrett keeps playing well, the Browns could honestly finish 9-8.
They could.
Yeah, they have a few games. They have 6 games left, and their schedule is not that bad. I remember the games that are like the most losable to them are the game against Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on January 4th, something along those lines, and then the other game is against the Ravens. Those are the only 2 games that are really like losable in the rest of their schedule. The rest of it's bad. So it's realistic even that they could come back and have a 9-8 record, but
I think at worst, I think the floor that they're gonna hit for their record is 7-10. I think that's their floor.
Oh, I'm feeling 8 and 9. There's no way they lose more than 2 of those games. There's no chance.
Oof.
No, they're going to throttle. They're going to demolish the Texans this week. But
if Houston beats them, I'm gonna laugh my.
I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my mind. This was a really nice game for Rashad White. 9 receptions for 45 yards. Great game for Chris Godwin. Best one since he came back from injury. This is the first time, I'd honestly say this is probably like the father time game because this is the first time we've seen Brady not be able to close it out.
I know. But his first time losing a game in when leading in the final minute of the game.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was also the first time he's lost in overtime like this too.
It was his 3rd overtime loss.
Maybe it was first overtime loss when he got the ball first. Maybe that was, I don't know.
Maybe that's it. But Brady now has 3 overtime losses in his career, and one of them's to the fucking Browns, which is fun.
Yeah, the Jacoby Brissett Browns. Yeah.
His former backup quarterback. That we didn't even think about last night. Jacoby used to hold his jock strap.
Yeah.
Funny. Good for you, Jacoby.
Nick Chubb, 26 carries for 116 yards, pounded this defense. Amari Cooper, 7 receptions for 94 yards. David Njoku has been playing better. I think he'll get more value with Deshaun coming back as well, but he found the end zone. It's nice seeing Njoku get some more value, kind of revitalize that career a little bit.
Njoku's a stud. Honestly, I'm good on the Cleveland Browns for sticking with him because he was a younger prospect coming out. He was like 20. Sticking with him and for making things work with him because there was times where he requested a trade from Cleveland at least once. It may have been more than once, but I know at least once. They were able to repair that relationship and keep him there on the team. Yeah.
Agreed.
So, shout out to Cleveland for taking care of their players.
For real.
Obviously, we know they do that.
Yeah. You want to do the unfortunate Raiders-Seahawks here?
Yeah, Raiders-Seahawks. Let's go.
This game sucked. So, the only thing that didn't suck about this game was watching Josh Jacobs because I don't like the Raiders. That's not a secret. But I love Josh Jacobs. I love watching Josh Jacobs. Can't I don't know. As a person, I don't know, but
He's the out of all the running backs in the NFL, he's having the best season this year.
definitely, yeah.
And I don't think it's particularly close.
He had over 300 yards in this game.
And fucking snapped off
Yeah.
51 fantasy points if you were in PPR.
I thought it was 50. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I forgot my scoring gives like longer rushes and stuff. My bad.
Yep. Yep. No, but if you have a league to where like if him breaking off that 86-yard TD
Yes,
gives you
yeah.
extra point,
Yeah.
holy fuck, you may be even looking at a 60 egg.
No, he scored 58 points in my league. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, this is the weakness of the Seahawks is being exposed. Just that interior, they were just completely unable to stop that run.
Yeah.
You pointed out this was like not the greatest game for Devontae. 7 receptions for 74 yards, but like he didn't have to do that much just because Josh went ballistic. K-Walk didn't really run the ball that much. I would have liked to see the Seahawks commit and just kind of try to temper the Raiders from scoring so much.
Especially since their defense was getting cooked.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker, 14 carries, 26 yards, 2 touchdowns. That was nice to see. He only had 1 reception in this game. DK had 11 receptions for 90 yards but didn't find the end zone. I was completely right about Tyler Lockett. Over 60 yards in the touchdown. That was nice to see. Travis Homer found the end zone. It was really a shootout, and the Seahawks defense just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
They consistently scored. That was nice, but...
Honestly, if you're in a shootout kind of situation, Derek Carr is not the worst quarterback to have in a shootout.
No, not the worst, but not the one I want.
Not your first choice by any means, but there's far worse. We're now hitting the point in the season where Derek Carr is both underrated and overrated at the same time.
Yeah. Do an opposite.
He's the mid-starting quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Well, yeah, mid. Yeah, I was gonna say there's definitely.
I think Derek Carr is literally the worst you could be and be a franchise quarterback.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. Yeah. Do you want to hop to Bengals Titans?
Yeah, I was just talking about mediocre quarterbacks, so let's talk about Ryan Tannehill.
I talked about this last night. Ryan Tannehill is actually doing a pretty impressive job of putting up numbers, even if they're not the most incredibly productive numbers.
He's not turning the ball over.
Yeah, 22 of 34 for 291 yards. Derrick Henry had a quiet rushing game. He did have that really long reception, and he also had another really long... I don't know if it counted as a reception or if it counted as a rush, but he had that really, really long rush where the ball was punched out of his hands into the end zone, and then Treylon Burks dove on it, so he got credit for that touchdown. I guess, good for you, Treylon Burks.
Good for you, Treylon.
Yeah, but this was really the T. Higgins show through and through. 7 receptions, 114 yards, and a touchdown. The Bengals are hitting their hot streak when they need to as well. I don't think anybody's catching the Titans in their divisions. I don't think they really have to worry about it. The Titans are a team that constantly overplay because their coach just motivates the fuck out of them.
Dude, Mike Vrabel, such a great coach.
Yeah.
That when Derrick Henry fumbled and Treylon Burks picked it up in the end zone, a little soundbite came out this week to where Treylon was like apologizing to like Vrabel and Derrick Henry. He's like, that was my fault. I was like, that was my guy that came across and was able to force the fumble. It was a guy I was supposed to be blocking downfield. And Vrabel straight up said, hey, don't worry about that. Like, there's so many plays. You're bound to make a mistake eventually.
Yeah.
Like, we're all going to make
mistakes
mistakes out here. He said you ran your ass off to get yourself, like,
in position.
Get yourself there to score a touchdown. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah, Vrabel seems like a great guy. Everybody that plays for him loves him. He's really one of those coaches that's able to get the best out of you, for real.
Yeah, and sometimes just some player coaches aren't very good at it. Some are fantastic at it.
Yeah.
Vrabel might be a better head coach than he was an NFL player.
Probably. Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Yeah. And T. Higgins had a great game.
Yes.
Joe Burrow had a great game.
Yeah. And Jamar's back this week.
Jamar is back this week. Get for your guys' game
Chiefs
in KC.
week.
Chiefs week. We'll talk about that a little bit more before the game. These fan bases do not like each other.
No.
It is getting so heated.
Honestly, my like temperament for fuck the Bengals is kind of like simmered down, but like the shit talking before the game is getting everybody really hyped for this rematch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Both sides are doing it too. Isn't just like one side's poking.
Yeah. Well, it was stupid how it started because it was the reporter confusing
Jordan Reed.
Justin Reed.
Justin Reed.
Yeah. It was the reporter confusing. No, you're good.
I was like, what?
The reporter confused him because the reporter was asking about Tyler Higbee, and he misunderstood and thought that the reporter was asking about the matchup against T. Higgins. So he started talking about like how a couple of the different mismatches were, and he started talking about how Hayden Hurst with like blocking assignments rather than receiving, and if Hayden Hurst does try to get much receiving value, he's gonna lock him up. And that's when Jamar stepped in on Twitter and was like, "Damn, you're talking a lot of shit for someone who we haven't played yet. Somebody who got your team got cooked last year." And
Well, Justin Reed also put out a tweet saying it didn't matter who it was.
Yeah.
If it was Hayden Hurst, Higgins, Chase, he said it didn't matter.
yeah,
We're going to lock them all up.
yeah.
So, I get Jamar straight up saying...
Oh, same, but it was
Come
led
on.
by misunderstanding.
It's getting fun.
It,
And
it
also,
like started with friendly banter coming off of a misunderstanding, but now it's like escalated to a point of we are going to see violence.
I honestly... Hayden Hurst is not who I'm afraid of as, like, a receiving threat.
No.
I'd be more worried about him blocking.
Yes, definitely.
Man is going to maybe just take Justin Reed's head off.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Bud Dupree got rocked in this game. Yeah.
Did. I remember I sent you that on Twitter. It was on a play action pass.
Yeah.
Ended up going to Higgins. They had Hayden Hurst. They didn't block Bud Dupree.
No.
And they had Hayden Hurst come across the formation.
Yeah.
And just essentially wham block him like he would in the run game.
It was crazy. Yeah.
It was fucking put his whole shoulder in his chest. Fun fact about Hayden Hurst, he used to play baseball. That's why he's old as fuck now.
Yeah.
Even though he hasn't been in the league that long.
Do you have anything else on that one?
No, that's all we can do for the Bengals Titans.
All right, let's go to.
Dude, Falcons Commanders.
Yeah,
so we
that's
knock that one out fast.
Exactly where I was. Marcus Mariota consistently mid. This Falcons as a whole, you could win your division being this shit. Just play right. I don't understand. Your coach sucks.
We were talking about this last night. Literally, Carolina and New Orleans still have a shot winning this fucking division.
Yes!
Because of how tough it is.
Yeah, so don't blast me for my New Orleans pick, okay? This division all sucks.
The whole thing's trash. The whole thing garbage.
This was the Brian Robinson coming out game for me. 18 carries for 105 yards. And he also had 2 receptions for 20 yards and a touchdown. Yeah, he really could be the workhorse back for the Commanders, which is interesting because the Commanders have a lot of weapons. They just are the Commanders. I don't know.
They're the Commanders. I feel. Oh, when you're kind of in your quarterback situation is either Carson Wentz. His problems are more mentally playing the game.
Yeah.
Or Taylor Heineke, who his issues are more physically playing the game.
I was surprised that they didn't pass very much in this game, but they didn't need to win, so it's just what it was. TLDR, Commanders defense showed up. Falcons didn't really at all. Olamide Zaccheaus was the leading receiver for the Falcons, by the way.
Yeah.
5 receptions for 91 yards. That was great. Drake London had 2 for 29. That's not so great.
Yeah, no.
Great average, but needs to see more.
It's really funny that they even signed like Marcus Mariota this offseason. He doesn't. His style quarterback doesn't fit the skill position players they have. Marcus, when he's always played well passing the ball, it's like more shifty guys who create a lot of separation.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's not
if
the
he had
guys
like
that need the ball placement for.
if he had like a younger Demarcus Robinson or like uh
I think he would do great if like Devonta Smith was on his
yeah.
team.
Yeah.
He needs just players that create separation, not contested catch guys.
Yeah, for real. Agreed.
Because he doesn't feel comfortable throwing those balls. You can see it.
Please start Desmond Ritter. Please.
Please start him at some point. You won't see him in fucking preseason next year.
Probably
It's
not.
gonna piss me off.
And they're gonna opt into Mariota's second year of the deal.
God, I hope not. That would be such a terrible, terrible decision.
Yeah, I agree. Chargers Cardinals.
Cardinals. Yeah, I was so close with this prediction, by the way.
I got this one right.
Literally
Fortunately.
a point. Literally a point.
Yeah. Justin Herbert, 274 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. DeAndre Carter led by far here. Austin Eckler had 11 receptions, as he typically does. 60 yards and a touchdown. It was honestly a quieter week just because he didn't have a massive yards, but it feels like they're just trying to kind of split touches a little bit, and they had to throw to stay in this game a little bit. Cardinals, on the other hand, Kyler Murray, I just feel bad for him, to be honest with you. James Conner had a great game. 25 carries, 120 yards, no touchdowns. Yeah, I just feel bad for Kyler for being stuck with Cliff.
Yeah. And something's got to change.
Yes, definitely.
If the Cardinals are serious about wanting to be a playoff team and a Super Bowl contending team every year, there's got to be changes that have to be made.
Yeah.
They need to stop going after these older, washed-up players. Because right now, you have a quarterback with big quarterback money.
Yeah.
Like, you need to start working the draft,
get a guy that he can, like, grow with. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because DeAndre Hopkins is great still, but for how long? He had 4 receptions for 87 yards and a touchdown. That's almost 22 yards per reception, but how long is D-Hop going to be there?
Yeah. How long is D-Hop going to still be this good as well? There's so many questions about it. A year, maybe a little bit longer, because he's getting up there. He's old. He's in his 30s.
I was going to say 32, I think. Let me go Google it. 30. Oh, he is 30. Okay. Yeah.
So he could still have about 2-3 years good production if he's taking care of his body.
Yeah.
Which, what they found in his system probably will help with that.
Hey, you got to keep that out, or you won't be able to play for those next few years.
Hey. Gotta know the right point in the offseason to take this.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. That's what it's about.
That point is right now.
Yeah, for real. Derwin James had an interception in this game. That was cool. I think that was the only interception of the game on either side. Yeah, it was.
Safety NFL made a play.
The Chargers are that analytics run based team, and I think it's gonna finally start swinging in their favor. I know there's a lot of like intangibles in a game that you can't account for with statistics and analytics, but I feel like at some point in time it does have to go their way, and I feel like they're about to have a swing that way.
Man, I just hate their offense that the Chargers run. I really do.
Yeah, turning Justin Herbert into a check down merchant is not the way to go.
Well, they're having him run the same offense that fucking Drew Brees ran his last couple of years in New Orleans.
Yeah, I know.
Like, when Drew Brees' arm was cooked. You have a guy with a top 3 arm in the NFL. Use it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Since, like, Josh Palmer can get loose deep.
I know.
Even like you're lacking speed. DeAndre Carter's even decent.
Mike Williams is good when he's there.
Mike Williams is good when he's there.
Keenan Allen's still an elite route runner. I know. It's
still a very good route runner. Man, think he's always going to be a good possession receiver and know where he has to be in zone
Yeah.
coverage.
I agree.
But I think that everything they used to do a couple years ago after the catch,
Yeah, not
done.
anymore.
That's
Yeah.
done.
Well, you want to talk about a Drew Brees style of offense? How about we talk about no offense coming from New Orleans Saints? Yeah, this was a mess.
0 points.
The 49ers had a very quiet offensive week. Jimmy Garoppolo has been having a very quietly good year. 222 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. That was nice to see. The touchdown was to Jawan Jennings. He's having a pretty good few weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
I love Juwan Jennings because the way he produces doesn't really show up on the stat sheet, sadly.
Mhm.
He's a fantastic blocker.
Yes.
And he
Yeah.
runs his routes very well. And the way he does things, the way he operates, it's getting his teammates open.
Yeah.
And it's helping in the run game. So I have no qualms with Juwan Jennings
Same.
being the number 3 wide receiver on this team.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago he had a few receptions as well. I think it was only 40 yards, but for being
Motherfucker's first name is Benny?
who? What?
I wonder he goes by Juwan.
Really?
Yes, I just found it.
Interesting. Benny
Benny.
Jawan Jennings. Interesting.
Benny!
Yeah, versus the Chargers, he had 4 receptions for 40 yards.
I bet he would have went by Benny if he got drafted by the Jets.
Oh my God, Benny and the Jets. Yeah, I bet. That would have been funny. The 49ers are kind of at a concerning pivotal point to me because Elijah Mitchell is not going to be present. Christian McCaffrey is dealing with a lot of knee soreness right now. Jordan Mason's going to have to step in and fill that role a little bit, at least the running back 2 role right now. I'm not sure how good he is.
I don't know. There's a couple of other backs. Prince, the rookie they just drafted out of LSU, he could also get some play. And there's some backs that can really get some touches for this team. We could see Debo get a bunch of carries as well.
Yeah. The nice part about the 49ers is depth. Absolutely. They have a very deep, great team. You're right. They do have a lot of guys that they could throw in there. But I'm just concerned because of Christian McCaffrey's injury history.
Awful usage.
Yeah, and that too. I think that they should really transition him more to their pitch pass receiver. I don't want to see him as involved in just the hard ground run game. I want to see him much more involved in the passing game at this point in time.
I want to see McCaffrey be used almost like how Alvin Kamara was his first 2-3 years in the league.
Yeah. Yes.
But have another back. Find his Elijah Mitchell was supposed to be his Mark Ingram.
Yeah. Well,
Still might be at the end of the year.
At the end, for playoffs maybe, but
yeah, for a playoff run. They want him to be mostly used in passing situations, outside more style of runs. But like you said, the injuries are not helping.
Yeah.
Man, there's no team in the NFL right now that isn't dealing with injuries.
No.
At this point in the year.
And with the Saints, it's like, dude, this was just bad. There's a reason this was our bad of the week because Andy Dalton was 18 to 29 for 204, which it's not awful. It's more than 200 yards. I guess that's kind of like the threshold for being mediocre is less than 200 yards in a majority of games, especially when you have no rushing. Yeah, the Saints had no rushing. Andy Dalton was the leading rusher of the Saints with 21 yards. Kamara had 13. Taysom Hill also had 13. Mark Ingram had 10. And their leading receiver, Chris Olave, 62 yards. Yeah, it's not surprising they didn't score. It's surprising they didn't get a field goal, but it's not surprising they didn't score a touchdown in this game. The Saints are just not good, but
they're not good offensively, and they ran into an elite defense.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea that they're not statistically eliminated. Like that's I don't know. I don't know what to say. That division is so horrible. It's like the type of horrible where it's like you don't want to look at it, but also you can't look away from it.
Mm-hmm. You know what's really funny?
Huh.
The fucking winner of the NFC South is gonna low-key win a fucking wild card playoff game.
That it's possible.
Imagine if the Bucks get in.
Oh God, don't give Tom Brady another run. Don't do it.
Tom Brady gets in. You don't think he can win one playoff game?
I think he can win one, but
Yeah, I think one.
I'm not sure.
Unless he plays the 49ers in the first round.
Yeah, no, you're gonna get curb stomped.
You're probably, but man, there's not many. The NFC, if you're not. Oh, wait. He might draw Minnesota in the first round.
Yeah, enjoy going against Justin Jefferson. Have fun with that.
Hey, I'm more thinking their defense doesn't match up.
Well,
Minnesota's defense won't match up.
uh,
Minnesota, Tampa Bay
that would be an interesting one.
in the playoffs. That would be a very interesting matchup. That would be the whole.
Trust Tom Brady more than Kirk, of course, but he's had it going this year, man. I know they've got exposed a couple times against the Cowboys and against the Eagles earlier in the year, but I don't know. It's just another largely dependent on injuries game.
Exactly.
Speaking of injuries, hey, my Chiefs played the practice squad Rams. That was pretty cool.
I know. Bryce Perkins in his first start got lit the fuck up. Poor man.
13 of 23 for 100 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He had 44 yards rushing. Hey, Van Jefferson got a touchdown. Very cool. Yeah, we treated this game like a scrimmage and tried new schemes and a few different things. Kelsey found the end zone because when doesn't he? But other than that, hey, Pacheco had he
had a nice game rushing the ball.
Yeah. He had 69 yards and a touchdown, and he also had 1 reception for 17. I'm really starting to like the role that Pacheco's playing. We also got Rojo some reps in there.
Yeah.
Jody Fortson, Justin Watson got a couple of receptions.
Seems like the only real Achilles heel with the Chiefs offense is the fact that in the run game, things can be blocked up perfectly.
Yeah.
And the backs aren't picking up as much yardage as they should.
I agree with that. Yeah. This
no
game,
matter who's in.
Yeah. Pacheco was averaging 3.1 yards per attempt, which is not great, especially considering Aaron Donald was out. I still think the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC, but there are a couple teams that are itching closer. The Dolphins are definitely one of them. The Rams are just not good. They are injured to hell, and what they do have left is like a bunch of first-time starters or very good players who are going to be dragged down by the fact that... Oh, Aaron Donald did play in this game. Wait, why did he was out? I thought he was out too, but it says he had 3 tackles in this game. Interesting. I definitely thought he was rested for this game.
Could be that he's out this week. I'm not hurt.
I don't remember seeing him in that game. That's weird. Maybe Google has an error. I don't know. But
let me look at it. No, it's not an error. He had 3 tackles.
Huh. Well,
but
I guess it kind of is what it is.
Tackles, played 60 snaps. I'm assuming he probably got hurt in like the second or third quarter.
That makes sense. This was really just like a practice squad game. It was really like a scrimmage, just us kind of getting some more guys, some more targets, integrations. I've been liking what I've been seeing out of Sky for the past 2 weeks. I don't know if it's going to continue. I hope it does, but I'm not sure.
I think it will. I think he's starting to really hit his stride.
Mm-hmm. I hope you're right.
I hope so too.
Packers Eagles. This is our we don't know of the week because we got to see Jordan Love come in at the end of the game because we thought that Aaron Rodgers was done, but apparently, as he said on the Pat McAfee show, all of his scans came back. He is clean. He is good. He is clear to play on Sunday, and it is much more likely than not that he will be playing Sunday. Christian Watson, 4 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown. Christian Watson is him.
With him.
Yeah. Aaron Jones had a pretty good game. He had, I think, 99 yards. I love Aaron Jones, yeah. the Packers team, it's just such a weird situation because they show signs of life in the most unexpected times, and then they just die on you again. And it's like, well, you know, and again, not statistically eliminated from playoffs. That's the crazy part. That's the insane, wild. I don't even know what to say. But the Eagles still did not have Jordan Davis for this game. He was just activated from injury reserve, so within the next 3 weeks we'll see him. I think he was practicing again this week, right?
Yeah. He's going to be practicing this week.
I don't know if he's going to play this week. They might give him one more week. Yeah.
I wouldn't risk playing him this week.
I
would
agree.
give him, like, especially for how important Jordan Davis is for that defensive line.
Yeah.
And for how it works, they're not going to play him.
I certainly hope so, but we'll get to the matchup in a minute. But on the Eagles side, 153 yards and 2 touchdowns for Jalen Hurts passing. He had 157 yards rushing. He's the first quarterback in history to have 125 yards 125 yards rushing, and was it 100 yards passing? Yeah. So in the first quarter or something, I don't know.
Jalen Hurts, just a monster.
Yeah.
Fantastic game. Fantastic running the ball. I really want to keep seeing this Eagles offense play and play well. Man, this was a winnable game for the Packers.
It was.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't turn the ball over twice.
Yeah. Which is crazy to say, right? Like, you're so used to him not turning the ball over, so I don't know.
And a pass from Jordan Love to Christian Watson.
Beautiful.
Just kiss.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers is gonna play, like you said.
Yes,
He's gonna play this week. He's gonna try to own Chicago one more time.
Yeah.
He also knows writing's on the wall. It's there. Jordan Love looked good for that bit of time he was in against Philly.
I agree. Yeah, I think when the Packers get eliminated from the playoffs, it might be kind of a ride into the sunset for Rodgers. I don't know.
I mean, if you're Green Bay, you almost want Aaron Rodgers to sit out the rest of the year.
Yeah, because you want to see what you have.
The decision.
Exactly.
Yeah, you want to have all the information you can to make the decision you need to make this offseason of
Aaron,
what you're going to do.
Aaron, go do some ayahuasca and think about your life or something. I don't know.
Or, honestly, how much draft capital do you think the Jets would trade for Aaron Rodgers?
The Jets?
During this offseason.
Man, I don't know. That's an interesting
I think the Jets would be willing to sell their soul.
The Jets probably would. I would like Atlanta much better as a fit.
Especially since, I don't know, Atlanta?
Yeah.
The only reason I say no to Atlanta is that they're still in cap hell.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There's no chance Green Bay is trading Aaron Rodgers and eating the contract.
Yeah. Let's see.
I think New York. It makes perfect sense from where their roster's at right now. What their offense is essentially Matt LaFleur's offense.
Yeah. You're not wrong, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. I'd never thought about that.
Aaron Rodgers has the perfect attitude for New York City.
Yeah, for real.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's a bit of an understatement. That's an interesting one. I have to think about that. I don't know.
I don't see any downside if the Jets offer like 2 first-round picks. A-Rod.
He signed through 2025.
Yes.
Okay.
2-3 first-round picks.
Yeah, I could see like 3 first-round picks. I could definitely see that. I honestly might even like that. That might not be bad.
I feel like that would be the best fit for all parties.
Yeah.
Man, I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers trade scenarios already. The offseason haven't started.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It's something you got to think about. But in this game, Miles Sanders had a great game, and that's something I've been waiting for all year. He's been really quiet this year. He's only had like a couple of good games. But he had 21 carries for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Eagles are in full committee mode right
Yeah,
now.
yes. This is the Eagles' year to lose. This is like
Yeah.
they match up really well, pretty much against everyone. The Eagles are the deepest team in the NFL, um,
And
at
have the
every
most
position.
ways to win.
Yeah, for sure. They have a committee at every position, and it's the mindset with this team is next man up for everything. Um, I will say I don't remember the undrafted free agent that picked off Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show. He was talking about it. He was like, "Oh, so what do you think about that kid that picked you off?" And he goes, "Honestly, the receiver ran the route.
Reed
Uh,
Blankenship.
yeah." He said, "I just missed the throw. I threw it right to the kid. I don't think it was anything special. I mean, like, congratulations, you got a pick in the NFL, but I threw it right to you. You didn't work for it. So, I mean, come on, man. I don't know." I guess you admitted your mistake, but only to take away from someone else's success. Like, that's just
Yeah.
kind of shitty, but whatever. Um, yeah, the Eagles are just the best team in the NFL. Getting Jordan Davis back will give them what they
Definitely
need to
help.
shore up the run. Uh, but the Packers showed a pulse. Nice. Awesome.
Speaking about showing a pulse, Pittsburgh beat the Colts Monday Night Football.
Yeah, the Colts definitely could have won this game. I feel
Bad
like,
clock management.
yeah, Jeff Saturday's learning as he's going, but it definitely was a clock management issue. Um, it, I mean, they've kind of figured out, hey, the answer is to pound the rock with Jonathan Taylor. And early on in the game, they weren't doing anything. But once you got into that like second quarter, it was like, okay, they're figuring it out. Third quarter, great, got that touchdown, yeah, awesome. And then after that, just nothing. Um, yeah, this was just did both of these teams 4-7 for the Steelers and 4-7-1 for the Colts. Like, neither of these teams are gonna have winning records. I don't think either of them are significant. I will definitely give credit to George Pickens for that one reception that he had on the sideline. That little toe drag that he had was great. That was beautiful. He definitely he deserves more targets for sure.
Yeah, 100%. But also, he deserves a better quarterback than Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that. Kenny Pickett seems like a nice guy. He's been in Pitt for a while. He's been in the college, in the system. He's been playing in that building. I think they need to give him at least one full year to show what he is, but I don't think he's going to be
City
what
of
they want.
Pittsburgh loves that kid.
Yeah.
He's gonna get such a long leash.
Yeah, that exactly. It's
Like you said, he started at Pitt forever.
yeah.
Won them a bowl game.
Yep.
Like he has the longest leash out of any of the young quarterbacks right now.
Yes. Definitely.
Because also, and I do feel bad for Mike Tomlin. This is going to be his first
losing season. I know.
For head coach.
That's crazy, and it gets worse because next year you have Deshaun for the whole season, and all of the this is like the beginning of the fucking for the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
No longer will you have a successful team.
Oh yeah, it's because now it's almost unequivocal. Like Pittsburgh is the worst team in their division at this point.
And all of their money's tied up in defense, so you can't really make any moves. Yeah.
You can. You definitely can. It's just
You
how
can't
they're
make any
gonna go about
huge
it.
moves.
I mean, I would also say this. What their biggest needs on offense are on the offensive line.
Yeah. They
More or
really
less.
need a tackle. They really do.
They do. They need a tackle. And they don't even really have any needs at wide receiver.
No, they don't. They
And-
have Deontay Pickens and more. Like I don't know. The Steelers just need help at multiple offensive positions that aren't receiver or a tight end.
Maybe that pick that was Najee Harris should have been an offensive tackle.
It should have been. I mean, could you imagine Najee on like a good team?
I think my hot take is Najee Harris is just big Trent Richardson.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. I'm not very high on him, but like,
I think he makes the offense he's in worse.
yeah.
Can't do that as a running back. Like when you are literally more of like a baseline test of how well the offense is running and going.
Yeah,
Not if you're bringing it down, man, you really shouldn't have playing time.
agreed. Completely
And I
agreed.
don't think Najee Harris has very great field vision.
Yeah, well, he
I think
like
he's honestly just big
yeah,
the
and
whole way he
he zones in on like what he sees as 1v1s instead of like hitting a hole or like
Mm-hmm.
instead of trying to make a move on the guy, he'll like try to make a move, but just because he's so big, like he could run over a guy and get 3 or 4 yards almost every time. But instead, he'll choose to like make a stutter step and hesitate and get tackled, and it's like usually for a loss, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? I just really don't like how he plays, especially in the open field. I really don't like it.
Also, like you can't have you can't have bad vision and be impatient as a runner.
Yes,
So
exact. Thank
run
you.
that run straight up as well. He does so many things that piss me off.
Yeah, same. I completely agree. And I know the offensive line does not help the situation, but like you're not helping either. You're not using the God-given gifts that you have of your large size. You're trying to be like Le'Veon Bell, and you're not. You're a big dude. Whatever.
And I will say, I will give Najee Harris props on one thing. I do think he's a nice receiving back. For
I
being
agree.
that big, and he has great hands.
Agree.
And he should play tight end instead. I don't know. Well, no, he shouldn't, because I don't think he can get in and out of his cuts and breaks very well.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. Now that we've done our wrap up for last week, let's get on to our pick portion for this week. The game that is about to start in about 40 minutes. A little more than that, but
Those Patriots.
those Patriots. Who are you taking, Brett?
Yeah. This might come as a surprise. I'm taking the Patriots. I like the Patriots at home in this one. I can't give you too much of an explanation. I know analytics are pointing to Patriots in this one. My best explanation for this one is I really just trust the consistency of the Patriots against the Bills team that seem to be in a small lull. So
I agree with you. I also Bills are me without their left tackle. And currently, when rushing off of that side, Matthew Judon leads all players in sacks.
oh God, rest in peace.
He leads all players in sacks anyway, but literally only one of his sacks came from rushing off the right tackle as opposed to left tackle.
God,
So let's see how that goes for him.
not well. I would
Right.
guess.
Especially since we saw how much Detroit was getting home.
Yeah, for real.
Josh now beforehand. I can only imagine what New England's gonna do.
What Matt Judon is gonna, yeah.
Yeah, Matthew Judon's gonna have himself a nice game. I do think the Patriots pull this out.
Agreed. I
That's
think
just where I'm at with
I think Ramondre has a great game.
Mondre is gonna need to have a good game because I don't see Mac Jones having
Oh, no.
another like uber great game.
No, against that secondary, no. I think Ramondre's gonna have probably close to a buck. Yeah, I give him 100 yards
I'm
and
right here.
10 receptions.
10 receptions. I'm here for it.
Packers, Bears, who you taking?
Packers Bears. I don't care who our quarterback is. I'm taking us in this game with Chicago.
Yeah,
Even if Justin Fields has practiced every day this week, and I don't care.
yeah,
I don't care that we got ran over by Jalen Hurts.
yeah.
We are taking this game, and we are going to win this game.
Yeah, you really showed signs of life in the last game, but I mean, regardless of that, if Aaron Rodgers has a pulse, you own the Bears. I'm taking the Packers as well. Yeah, no question.
All right. Denver, Baltimore.
Oh, he's skipping ahead. All right. Denver, Baltimore.
Still a 1 o'clock game. I'm sticking with 1 p.m.
I know. It just wasn't the order I was looking at. Give me the Ravens in this one. I just don't think the Broncos offense can produce even against the Ravens defense, who could choke on water.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'm also taking Baltimore.
Dolphins Niners.
Dolphins Niners. I am honestly shocked at the Chargers game.
Yeah.
Not the Chargers game, but this game wasn't flexed to prime time.
Same.
Over Cowboys Colts.
Yeah, same.
Because this should have been the prime time.
I
for this
completely
this is the
agree with
marquee
you.
matchup.
Yes.
Outside of Chiefs Bengals.
Chiefs Bengals. Yeah, either one.
Either way. Man. I'm gonna go with the 49ers here.
Okay.
Just because I think the 49ers have more ways to win than the Dolphins do.
I'm taking the Dolphins, actually. Because even though the 49ers have like a wheelhouse of offensive capability and a very creative coach, you can't guard both Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. You cannot do it. And Tua has been incredibly accurate. Their offensive line is held up fairly well most of the weeks. Give me the Dolphins in this one.
I will say the one thing that is going to give the Dolphins fits offensively, Nick Bosa going up against Brandon Shell, it's not going to be pretty.
Well, Nick Bosa going up against usually anyone is not pretty. But
I mean, the Dolphins are bad at tackle.
That, fair enough.
Especially with Armstead probably not going to play.
I did not know that one, but I'll stick by my guns.
But he's questionable, but doubtful. Worse than that clock. But I'm going to take the Niners here. I think that this game is going to be close, but I don't think the Dolphins are going to go up and down the field like they have on multiple other teams so far this year.
Okay.
This is also probably going to be the best defense they played so far.
Agreed with that.
We'll see. Also, Mike Daniels coming home to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun on so many levels. Pittsburgh Falcons. Yeah, some of these games where like neither team is playing for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Are always really hard to pick.
Well, the Falcons could be, which is the stupid part. Give me the Steelers because why not? I guess. The Falcons are so run heavy.
Question mark.
The Falcons are so run heavy. I don't trust Marcus Mariota to throw if they get behind, so give me the Steelers.
Right. I am actually right there with you. I'm also going to take the Steelers.
Okay.
I think they're a more talented team at this point in the year.
With Kyle Pitts' injury, rip.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts' injury, and also Marcus is just not the guy.
Good. Yeah.
Not that guy, buddy.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
Mm-hmm. More teams that are just battling for nothing. Jacksonville and Detroit.
Is this at Detroit? Yeah, it is at Detroit.
It is at Detroit. It is at Detroit.
I don't think Travis Etienne plays. If he does, I know he's going to be limited. You know what? Give me the Lions in this one. I would love to see this. Give me the Lions. The Lions played really well at home last week. Jared Goff is a completely different quarterback at home. Give me the Lions.
I'm gonna take the opposite end of this. I feel like this week we're gonna disagree more than most weeks.
Probably.
I'm gonna take the Jaguars here. I watched Trevor Lawrence pick apart a better secondary last week.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true.
And I honestly could see him just willing this team to another win next week.
It's definitely
this
possible.
week against Detroit.
He's definitely better than Goff, but the Lions are just better at home. And to be that close against the Bills, I don't know. got a feeling about the Lions in this one. Jets
I'm
Vikings.
also
Oh, sorry.
Jets Vikings. Oh no, I was gonna say, I'm curious. Was that Detroit also playing well, or is that we're starting to see the chinks in the armor for Buffalo?
Both, definitely both. Detroit's definitely been stepping it up defensively. Whether or not it's like great, they definitely DC's got them like playing with their hearts out for sure.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. The Detroit, they are playing very hard on defense.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving a lot of effort. You can see that.
Yes, and I also know Hutch.
That secondary is so bad.
Hutch got. I know the Jags were like talking about. Here, let me find it real quick. Aiden Hutchinson will be thinking of the draft day snub from Jaguars. Guess my arms weren't long enough. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's gonna be in there trying to get after T-Law. I don't know. Something about this game just screaming Detroit to me. This seems like the type of game that the Jaguars would lose. So.
Some people say all this stuff about Aiden Hutchinson, his arms was definitely a little overplayed.
Blown out of proportion, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we'll see going forward if the Jags did make the right decision or not with Walker.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be really interesting. Right now, it's looking like no.
No, yeah. That's all right.
They drafted Trayvon Walker knowing he was going to be a project.
Yes, for sure.
Knowing that very much work in progress.
Jets Vikings, who you got?
Vikings? Oh, God.
We know who I'm going to choose. That's a...
I know you're taking the
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a close game. For that reason, give me Minnesota.
Okay.
Minnesota has been an absolute dog in these close games. All 9 of their wins are like within one possession game.
Yeah. So, complete transparency and honesty, I'm only voting for the Jets because I've picked them as my team this year, where I'm just going to pick them for everything. I genuinely think that the Vikings are going to win this game, but I would love to see Mike White just demolish this defense. Yeah.
I'd love to watch Mike White throw an 8-yard pass and then the receiver break off 3
for
tackles
70 yards. Yeah.
What kind of shit that's gonna happen?
I'm gonna be very interested to see how physical the Justin Jefferson and Sauce Gardner matchup is, because I feel like Jets not gonna put up with shit in this game.
Dude, well, also Justin Jefferson's not like a small receiver
No.
either. He's gonna get pushed around. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. That's gonna be like my marquee matchup for the 1 o'clock slot. Like I'll probably put the rest on like a spread and just watch the rest of them, but I'll have that one on the big screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's gonna be fun. Commanders Giants.
So
wild that these teams almost have identical records at this point.
Yeah, for real. Let me think. It's at New York.
New Jersey.
Sorry.
No, I just like making fun of it. The fact that the New York teams have to play in New Jersey because there's nowhere in fucking New York City for a football stadium always cracks me.
Give me the Commanders in this one.
The Commanders are honestly are probably the correct choice.
Yeah.
I do think their defensive line, especially their defensive tackles, could easily take over this game.
Yes, exactly.
You know what's really funny?
Huh.
The Commanders' next 2 games are against the Giants.
Really? Oh, yeah, I remember, because they have the weird scheduling. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. That was so stupid.
I'm going to take the Giants in this one.
Interesting. Can I ask why?
Honestly, Brian Dable. I think he's just a better coach.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, to each their own.
And I could see the Giants' defense being the real catalyst in this game.
See, that's a more fair answer, but the reason that I'm saying is because the Giants have no receiving. They have nothing, and you can't rely on Daniel Jones to win you a game, and Saquon is probably, unless they're using him heavily in the pass game, he's going to get stuffed.
I do think Slayton could have a really nice game.
He, I believe, is
He's better
questionable.
than
He's questionable, leaning towards doubtful, if I'm not mistaken, but definitely questionable.
if he plays. He's better than anyone who's going to be guarding him for the Commanders.
Let me do a checkup on that just to make sure, but I'm fairly certain. Oh, he was sick. He's not on the injury report for this week, but he was sidelined in practice because he's sick today.
He'll be fine.
Probably, yeah, probably. Flu game incoming.
Flu game incoming. We'll say this is going to be the first game back for Chase Young. So
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. He looks good, though. He looks really good.
Yeah, well, it's going to be an interesting game. I don't feel good about picking the Giants here, but I'm going to pick the Giants here.
Okay.
I also don't. I think Brian Dable has his team with the right attitude that they're not going to lose Commanders after losing in front of a national audience to Dallas.
I agree with that one. But I just, man, the
It's-
matchup for me, just the Commanders, the Giants just have nothing, in my opinion, that will win against the Commanders.
Maybe skill position wise. On
Maybe.
the offensive line, Thomas is gonna block out whoever is coming off that edge. I don't think he's not facing off against Micah Parsons this week.
No. Well, yeah, that's a different animal.
That's different. Best edge in the NFL,
Yeah.
arguably. Or
No, I don't even think it's arguably. I think that's just a statement at the current time. I think that's just what it is.
I'll say arguably because there's only two guys I think that have a legitimate claim outside of Michael Parsons for best edge, and that's Nick Bosa to a much lesser extent, Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett
is
put right up there with Michael
he's
Parsons.
in the conversation.
It's because like if you had Myles Garrett on the Kansas City Chiefs, he would be getting as much clout as Michael Parsons.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, throw him on the fucking 49ers, see what happens.
God, Myles Garrett D line would not be fair. It's so fun to watch, but
Yeah.
because they're both good against the run and the pass.
Yeah. They have really great game sense,
Route.
really.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Myles Garrett, Browns-Texans.
Browns-Texans. This is going to be the game that a lot of people are going to be watching. So many different reasons.
Yeah.
And I think the Predator is going to win in Cleveland.
Yeah.
When in Houston.
Yeah.
Isn't it so fucked this game is a home game for Houston?
Yeah.
It's so...
It was probably planned.
I'm so interested about the kind of reception Deshaun Watson's going to get there.
Not good, would be my guess.
Probably won't be good.
You're probably going to see some very inappropriate signs in the crowd.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm here for it. Fuck him, but...
Fuck him is correct. I agree. Man.
I don't know if
Cleveland's
Brandon... Yeah. I don't know if Brandon Cooks is playing, and Derek Stingley is also questionable. So...
Derek Stingley's the big one.
Yeah. I don't... I mean, even if he plays, I don't really know if it matters. I don't think this is going to be the Deshaun 300-yard game that some people are expecting. I think this is going to be like a 150-yard game for Deshaun. I think Nick Chubb's going to have another 100-plus yard game.
I just
but
wish...
yeah, the Browns win this easily.
I just wish Deshaun Watson didn't do what he did, you know?
Yeah.
I feel so bad for all the victims in this, and I just should have never had to go through this.
Yeah, and I think there are a lot of people like questioning like why would they be going to his game and stuff, and it's like I'm sure they all have different reasons, but like from everything that I've heard, it's just like they want to make sure that they're remembered and not forgotten, that even though he wasn't like criminally punished does not mean that like he didn't do it, like just because that he has not suffered legal consequences does not mean that he doesn't deserve to, or that.
I mean, he's
it
going to
didn't happen.
suffer. At the end of the day, he's going to suffer financial consequences.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
But at the same time,
Which
like,
is not enough.
it's not. But hey, he's electric, so
Yeah, so he's gonna get paid regardless.
Marco.
I just hope somebody gets a horrible roughing the passer penalty on him. I hope they just pick him up, drive their shoulder pad through his fucking sternum.
The sad thing about that is it's against the Houston Texans, so not because
Hey, they go against Pittsburgh defense last week.
yeah, that'll be the time when it would probably happen.
I would love to see T.J. Watt just crush his ribcage. Anyway.
Yeah, there's only one even somewhat decent pass rusher on Houston, and that's an old ass Jerry Hughes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Houston's just God needs such a battle.
Jerry Hughes is having a good season for Houston too. He has 42 pressures and 8 sacks.
That's not bad.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good. And it's just being wasted.
12 weeks is really not bad. Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive.
Because, like, right now the league leader in pressures is Adarius Smith with 61.
Yeah, he's having a great year for sure.
Adarius Smith, fantastic pass rusher. I'm always a little angry and upset that we let him walk.
You know,
He wanted to be a Packer still, so
I want him to be a Packer still.
I want him to just not play against us twice a fucking year.
Yeah, for real.
But let's keep it rocking with our picks.
Seahawks, Rams.
Seahawks, Rams.
Give me the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
It's not. Who's playing for the Rams? Who's even going to suit up for him?
I don't know.
Who's playing?
I don't know. Not a lot of people.
Exactly. Titans, Eagles.
This is the tougher one because the Titans are just so run heavy, but it shouldn't be. I'm just going to say Eagles, and I hope that they really focus on stopping the run. Because if you force Tannehill to throw, eventually he'll regress and will turn the ball over.
Especially against this secondary.
Yeah.
Man, it sucks that Gardner Johnson did go out for them.
I know.
There's still a lot of depth in the secondary.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Gardner Johnson, don't worry, Eagles fans. Honestly, Gardner Johnson will be back for the playoffs.
I hope so. Yeah, I think, that
He
sounds
will
right.
be. He's on the IR right now, and they're just gonna bring him back in 4 weeks when they can.
That's good.
Let's save that one for not next, but Chargers Raiders.
Oh man, that's a hard one. Chargers.
Chargers, I'm right there with you. I also say Chargers.
I think Josh Jacobs is gonna have another good week running the ball, but I think that the Chargers will be able to overcome the Raiders' deficits more than the other way around.
Raiders are also just a shitty defense.
Yep.
So you just gotta hope that the Chargers can score some points against them. The Raiders are actually favored by a point, I believe.
Really?
In the fucking game.
Interesting.
It's at home, so definitely wild. Definitely wild. But now let's go to the game that I know you're very excited for, Brett.
Chiefs Bengals. Yeah. This one's fun. I think the Bengals are going to be very fired up and motivated. But I think the Chiefs are every week, and I think we win this game. I'm not saying it with certainty. I have the Chiefs winning by 3.5. I know our field goals and kicking game has not been the strongest recently. I hope to God we don't have Sky Moore returning punts because he cannot catch them. But I trust in my team because I understand the Bengals got better from last year, but surprisingly enough, I think we did too. I know Mecole isn't available. He's still on IR. But we do have Juju back. We have more of the guys that we help build their confidence with. I think we can win this game. I wouldn't bet a 10-point spread. I wouldn't bet more than Chiefs -3 on this game, but I feel like we win.
So I'm actually gonna change my pick from last night.
Interesting.
Where I was gonna lean. I'm taking Cincinnati in this one. I think the Bengals are a really scrappy team.
Okay.
I think if they can contain Patrick Mahomes, keep him in the pocket, and not let him scramble around the field, I think they can definitely win this game.
Interesting.
Defense is good enough to slow down the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Enough of a point to where their offense can keep up.
Okay.
This is going to be a shootout. I don't think this is going to be a low-scoring game.
No, and I think this is going to be the Chiefs doing everything they can to take away Jamar, and the Bengals are just going to feed T. Higgins.
They're just, no matter what, this game is going to be exciting.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Probably, like you said, some of the bigger matchups is going to be the receivers and corners. It's also going to be how well can their offensive line of the Bengals block Chris Jones.
Yes.
That's going to be one of the bigger difference makers in this game. And when guys are covered, is it going to be like last year? Can Joe Burrow create on his own?
And that's going to be an interesting question because I know they got better at pretty much every position. They got better. Is Awuzie's playing now? No,
he's on IR.
Is he? Okay. Well, that definitely hurts for them. I'm sticking with the Chiefs -3.
He's -3.
I'll take a money line, but if you ask me for a spread, I wouldn't go higher than -3.
Yeah. I think that's about where it's going to be, is about 3-4 point game. Okay. We're now to our primetime games. Colts Cowboys.
Yeah, I can't imagine Dallas fucking this one up.
No.
Really hard to imagine. So,
even though Dallas's defense, usually the running game is where you get beat, but we just saw him lock up Saquon Barkley. I don't think the Colts are going to be able to do enough here to win this game.
Same.
Saints Buccaneers Monday Night Football.
Yeah, this is I will not bet against the Saints. Give me the Saints.
Give me the Saints. I'll take Tampa Bay.
Okay. I just like the Saints defense and how they play against the Bucs, but I know they've kind of turned that around this year, and I know that they've turned around how badly the Bucs have been playing. So, I don't know.
Right, and before we wrap up, Brett, which one of our games do you want to be our bet of the week?
You want to do Jaguars Lions?
Ooh. I'm down for Jaguars Lions.
Okay.
I was going to say 49ers Dolphins, but I could definitely do some Jags Lions.
I think 49ers Dolphins is going to be interesting, but Jags Dolphins is just a fun one. Why not?
Yeah, Jags Lions is a garbage fire. We have to make
Yeah, it's both of the teams that should be tanking, but hit a hot streak. Who knows what happens?
Who knows what
all right, guys.
Anyway,
thank you so much for hanging out with us. We definitely went over our allotted time. This will not be uploaded before the game, but will be uploaded as soon as we finish recording. So probably somewhere about the halfway point of the Thursday night football game will be uploaded. Let us know what you think about Bills Patriots. If you are checking in early or if you're recapping this later, let us know how it went for you. Let us know if you had any good bets. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Tell us about it if you want. Leave a comment, subscribe, helps us out a lot. And let us know what you think about our picks.
All right, everyone. Peace out.